Coming up on 5 Minute News. Haitian President Moïse assassinated at home. Chinese social media giant WeChat shuts LGBT accounts. And North America endured the hottest June on record. It's Thursday, July 8. I'm Anthony Davis. A squad of gunmen assassinated Haitian President Jovenel Moïse and wounded his wife in an overnight raid on their home on Wednesday, inflicting more chaos on the Caribbean country that was already enduring gang violence, soaring inflation, and protests of his increasingly authoritarian rule. Interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph, who confirmed the killing, said the police and military were in control of security in Haiti, the poorest country in the Americas, where a history of dictatorship and political upheaval have long stymied the consolidation of democratic rule. Joseph called for an international investigation into the assassination, said that elections scheduled for later this year should be held, and pledged to work with Moïse's allies and opponents alike. Despite Joseph's assurances that order would prevail, there was confusion about who should take control and widespread anxiety among Haitians. The normally bustling streets of the capital, Port-au-Prince, were empty and quiet on Wednesday. Sporadic gunshots were heard in the distance, public transportation was scarce, and scared people searched for businesses that were open to food and water. The Haitian ambassador to the United States said the attack on the 53-year-old was carried out by foreign mercenaries and professional killers, well orchestrated, and that they were masquerading as agents of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. The DEA has an office in the Haitian capital to assist the government in counter-narcotics programs. Moïse's wife, Martine, was in a stable but critical condition, and efforts were underway to move her to Miami for treatment. Haiti has asked the U.S. government for assistance with the investigation, as the assassins could have escaped over the land border to the Dominican Republic or by sea. China's most popular social media service has deleted accounts on LGBT topics run by university students and non-government groups, prompting concern the ruling Communist Party is tightening control over gay and lesbian content. WeChat sent account holders a notice that they violated rules, but gave no details, according to the founder of an LGBT group. She said dozens of accounts were shut down, all at about 10 p.m. on Tuesday. It wasn't clear whether the step was ordered by Chinese authorities, but it comes as the ruling party tightens political controls and tries to silence groups that may criticize its rule. The Communist Party decriminalized homosexuality in 1997, but gay, lesbian, bisexual, transsexual, and other sexual minorities still face discrimination. While there is more public discussion of such issues, some LGBT activities have been blocked by authorities. The official attitude is increasingly strict, the founder of the LGBT group said, wanting to remain anonymous. Contents of the WeChat accounts, which included personal stories and photos of group events, were erased. Surveys suggest there are about 70 million LGBT people in China, or about 5% of the population. Some groups have organized film festivals and other public events, but those have dwindled. One of the most prominent, Shanghai Pride, cancelled events last year and scrapped all future plans without explanation after 11 years of operation. North America endured the hottest June on record last month, according to satellite data that shows temperature peaks lasting longer as well as rising higher. The heat dome above Western Canada and the northwest United States generated headlines around the world as daily temperature records were shattered across British Columbia, Washington, and Portland. The new data reveals this was part of a broader trend that built up over several weeks and a far wider area which is underpinned by human-driven climate disruption. The European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service also revealed that June temperatures in North America were 1.2 centigrade higher than the average from 1991 to 2020, which is more than 2 centigrade above pre-industrial levels. This is the 12th consecutive year of above-average June temperatures in the region, and the greatest increase recorded until now. At the start of the month, the record-breaking heatwave conditions were centered over the southwest of the US. They then moved over the northwest of the US and southwest Canada, causing more than 500 heat-related deaths and creating tinder for wildfires. The town of Lytton in British Columbia broke Canada's heat record 3 days in a row. The latest hydrological bulletin shows many of the affected regions had unusually dry soil. Meteorologists said these anomalies were made more possible by the broader pattern of warming, which was caused by human emissions. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen Podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.